Hey, I didn't turn on lights. Might as well turn on lights. Actually, my overhead lights are broken right now, so all I have is some spotlights that bounce. Anyway, welcome to Diane Wild Goose Qigong. I'm Jordan, and we will do some warm-ups. We will learn some movements, and then we'll do the whole form together. Um, we've wrapped through all 64 movements, so we're back at the start. Start with warm-ups and do waist rotations. So for these, the feet are connected to the ground. As much of the bottom as the foot connecting to the ground as possible, and then Baihui, the very top of the head, is also still and connecting up to the sky, and just wiggling in the middle. Then after we've done one direction, massaging up and down on the shin kidney points, and then back and forth, and then rotate in the other direction. Same idea, the feet are together, as much of the foot touching the floor as possible. Top of the head just as still as the feet, and all the movement happening in the middle. And the waist that we're rotating around is at the belly button, or even a little above it. It's the core engagement. Then after a few of those, bringing palm over palm, lagong over lagong into the chest, massaging, shoulders relaxed, and switching which hand is on top and massaging in the other direction. And then feet shoulder wide, hands on Huan Tiao, the divot right in the butt, hip joint, and then rotations around that plane where the hip joint is, keeping the head still, keeping the feet still, and can explore smaller circles, bigger circles, trying to go equally in each direction and spend as much time in each direction. Even though we're rotating around the hips, the whole body is in support and moving. Then we'll massage Huan Tiao and massage lower back. And then rotate opposite direction. Again, the feet are parallel, shoulder wide, and hip rotations. Since we're back at the beginning, I wanted to change something, so I cut all my hair off. Well, I didn't cut it, I buzzed it. That's what I'm going to say, is that it's all about new beginnings. In reality, I was just sick of all my hair. And then massaging palm over palm into lower dantian. Shoulders relaxed. And relaxing all the way through lower dantian, middle dantian, and upper dantian. And then feet back together and hands lightly on the knees for knee rotations. For the first set, keeping the feet connected to the ground and letting each one of the knee rotations be in orbit. Eyes are out in front somewhere. Rather than looking straight down at your feet, it can help with stability to be looking out. And then massage the kneecaps, coming down on the inside and up on the outside. And switch directions. And if you're looking for some strengthening, this can also be a core exercise, engaging the core and really engaging the tops of the legs as well. The slower you do it, the more burn you'll get out of it. And then massaging down the outside and up the inside of the legs for the kneecaps. And then second set of knee rotations, can let the heels come slightly up off the floor. Again, knees rotating in an orbit, and eyes are out in front. By touching lightly through all the warm-ups and the form. And then massaging down the sides of the legs. And knee rotations in the other direction. Getting a little more of a dip out of it. And if you don't want to go lower, then you can also go higher as a variation for the second round. There's so much mechanically happening in this move that you can take any one of those things and let that be a variation for the second round. And then massaging up the insides of the legs, all the way from the ankle joint. And then feet back together, interlacing the fingers, and we'll do rotations out in front of ourselves. As the hands circle up in front of us, the eyes are following, and as the hands come down the midline of our body, focus through upper dantian, middle dantian, lower dantian. That focus completing the circle, letting it be bigger than the front of your body. And then stretching out, extending through the front of the body. And then up to the right, so as we lean to the right, letting the left side of the body open and extend through the wrist, through the elbow, shoulder, ribs, hip, knee, ankle, all opening up and back to center. Opening through the left to lean right, center, one more on the left. Eyes up at the hands, back to center, and then leaning to the left, opening up the right side of the body to lean to the left. Center. And as you're pushing up, you can experiment with how much force and effort you're putting into pushing up and down with your feet, or up with your hands and down with your feet, and can also let it just be soft and really focus on the extension and opening rather than the pushing. Back to center. And letting it be really relaxed. Falls in line with the effortless effort of the Wild Goose Qigong. Back to center, and then we'll do some circles in front of us. Again, coming to upper dantian, middle dantian, lower dantian, completing the circle. And as we're doing this, can look for extension through the back of the legs, but don't want to bend the back. And then pushing down from upper dantian towards the floor, and then doing that towards the left toe, and pivoting the torso and going down outside the right toe, grasping elbows. And massaging down the legs, and patting down the legs, making sure to get all the joints. And then we'll do a round of kicks, the pre-chin to toe kicks. So hands on or the shuki knee points to protect your back and give yourself some stability, and kick at a diagonal angle across the body, through the heel, down the back of the leg, through the heel. And it's a finer detail, but if you can remember to bring the foot down at an arc and slowly connect back with the floor, bonus points. 10 of those, and then we kick down the top of the leg through the toe. And you can also play with how high you kick. Doesn't have to be high to get something out of it. Another thing to play with is how loose the leg is as the kick happens. Since it's the top of the leg and the toe that's tight, making the kick, how loose can the bottom be? And that gets us ready for chin to toe, everybody's favorite. So right leg out at an angle, line the torso, press elbows, and we'll fold from the hua, the crease of the hip rather than bending over with the back. It's always folding from the hip, and the eyes are down at the floor. We're making circles down the leg, up the toes, back towards ourselves, and circles can come from the shoulders, can come from a slight dipping of the fold, and the chin and the toe are aligned with each other. Even if they're not touching, there's an alignment. And then reaching out with 10 fingers and massaging down the leg. And if it helps you get all of the joints, can bend the leg to get all the joints, the hip, knee, ankle, and that, and then patting down the leg, being sure that your pats hit the same joints. And then minding the back on the way out, and can walk it off a bit. And over to the left leg. Left leg out at an angle, line the torso, grasping elbows, folding from the hua, chin aligned to toe, arm circles, tongue touching lightly, behind the teeth, filling the palate. Finding extension through the leg, as on the floor. And 10 fingers out, 5 on each hand. And massage. And pat. And I'll pause for a second to explain the padding. As we're doing the padding, the hand is cupped ever so slightly, and it's not like a smack or a slap where the hand is tight and we're hitting ourselves. It's cupping and just gently patting ourselves and giving to ourselves is the idea with that. And there's a whole form of just patting yourself, and we get a little bit of it in the Qigong warm-ups. Back to the right side, lining torso to the extended leg, 6 fingers, 3 on each hand, folding from the hua, arms extending through the fingers down to the floor, eyes to the floor, chin toe alignment. And then 2 fingers, 1 on each hand. And grasping toe. And then massaging a little bit harder on the outside as you come down, and a little bit harder on the inside as you come up. And patting down. Finding the back on the way out, walking it off. And over to the left side. 6 fingers, 3 on each hand, folding from the hua, Eyes into the ground, fingers into the ground, tongue touching lightly behind the teeth. Breathing naturally in this position and letting it be relaxed even as you find extension. 2 fingers, one on each hand, eyes into the ground, chin and toe aligning. And then grasping toe. And additionally with this movement, you can play with where the alignment of the torso goes and how that affects the extension through the back of the leg. As long as you maintain stability and balance, you can play around. And then massaging, harder down on the outside, harder up on the inside. And then patting down. Finding the back, getting back up. And then we'll do another round of kicks now that we've opened up the back of the legs. Can do some heel kicks on the back of the leg and bring the feet quietly down back on the floor. After 10 of those, switching to toe kicks down the top of the leg. And as I do the toe kicks, I have a natural tendency to want to lean back more, but the idea with the hands on lower dantian, the shu kidney points, is that you can maintain that stack of lower dantian, middle dantian, upper dantian, even throughout each kick. You have stability there, and that's what lets you bring the foot back down lightly. And then we'll do the pretzel maneuver, so taking the right hand over the left shoulder, left hand in front of the face, and then look to the right, aligning the palms with the ears. Feeling that extension spiraling down the back, all the way down to the hips, and letting go. Relaxing the shoulders, opening the chest, and left hand over right shoulder, right hand in front of the face, and look to the left. Keeping breathing, relaxing, opening. I'll do that one more time. Right hand over left shoulder, left hand hooks and gets a little extra reach out of the right hand to the right. The palms to the ears. Relaxing. And left hand over right shoulder, right hand hooks, and looking to the left. Relaxing, and then doing some shoulder slaps or pats where the palm lands on the corner of the shoulder and under the armpit. And with each one of these, can feel the chest opening up and feel that extension from the chest coming down through the arms, through the fingers. And then we'll do arm rotations. So bending the left leg, the right leg is extended, left hand is on the left leg, and the thumb is outwards towards the outside of yourself, and the torso is aligned with the left bent leg, and the right arm is hanging loose and then comes up the front, down the back. 9, 10, and then reversing the direction of the arm swing so it comes up the back and down in the front. Letting gravity do the work on the way down, momentum doing the work on the way up. And then pivoting on the heels to switch directions, we are holding the right leg with the right hand and the left arm is loose. And as a variation on this, can just do shoulder rotations. And if even shoulder rotations is aggravating something you're working on, then you can even just play with swaying the torso, which inevitably happens a little bit with this. The idea is to have your torso aligned with the bent leg, but as you're swinging your arm, it's hard not to have it come out a little bit. And that natural movement, even just with the relaxed shoulder, can help maintain the movement around that area. And then we'll do some more slaps, landing on the top of the shoulder this time and across the back. And pivoting on the heels to turn around, and some more slapping, patting. Feet back together. And we'll massage in circles, those same shu, kidney point, CB23 that we were massaging at the very start. And then massaging dabao, the ribs. So letting the chest open up for that. And if you're starting out and that is too much to do, you can also just do it with the tops of your hands, the front of your hands instead of the palms, and that makes it a lot easier. And massaging lower lymph nodes of the lower extremities. Massaging the chest. So coming from the middle of the chest and then combing out towards the shoulder, going over the collarbone with the fingers spread, and then trailing with the right arm and massaging with the left, again from the center out to the shoulder. And then we'll do everybody's actual favorite, the shoulder massage, and can again get a little bit of a hook with your opposite arm, get some extra reach out of that. And then some pats on that side before we move to the other side. And this is a really enjoyable part of the warm-ups. It is the self-care section. After we do all the extension and strengthening stuff, then we just get to do massages. So massaging up the arm with the hand parallel to the ground, arm parallel to the ground. All of the fingers are even with each other, so as we brush up from the very ends of the fingers, past the wrist, past the elbow, past the shoulder, gets each one of the fingers, none of them is left out. And turning the arm over and massaging down. Other side. Massaging up from the very tips of the fingers with the arm parallel. And if you can't quite reach the ends of the fingers, can bring the hand across the body, and that makes it a lot easier to get to those fingertips. And then turning the arm over, massaging down. And can shake out the hands and wrists, and can shake out the arms, shake out the shoulders, and shake out everything. There's a lot of fluttering that happens in the form, so it feels good to loosen everything up before that. Then we'll do some more finger massages. Again, coming to the very tips of the fingers and massaging past the webbings of the fingers, past the wrist, and then back to the very tips of the fingers again, and letting each one of the fingers find its opposite in turn as this massage happens. And then the other side. And then massaging the palm of the Lao Gong. And to find the Lao Gong, this is a point that's referenced throughout the form. Curling the middle finger into the crease of the hand, and between the middle finger and the pointer finger, exploring the hollow there. And the point is somewhere in there. And usually with these points, once you find it, it'll talk back to you. There will be some pain, usually. And the deal with that is where there's blockage, there is pain. So loosening things up, we can avoid that pain. Same as if you haven't used your legs in a couple hours and you get up and then suddenly they're stiff. Same deal with all the points in my minuscule parts of your body. So massaging that Lao Gong point in the palm, and then massaging that warmth out through the entire palm, and then massaging out to the ends of the fingers. And then the other hand, middle finger coming in, finding the hollow, massaging. And out to the ends of the fingers. And if your palms aren't already warm, warming them up, and then we'll massage the back of the neck. If you have hair, you can hold it up out of the way. I am buzzed. And then the front of the neck, the left hand cradling and the right hand using the pointer finger, fugu, the mound in between the thumb and the rest of the hand, and brush from the bottom of the chin, or bottom of the neck past the end of the chin. Going from one side to the other, and back again. It's a beauty move. Anti-double chin. And then we'll do some head massages. So finding spot on the temple in between the corner of the eye and the top of the ear, right behind the skull orbit of the eye there. There's usually a point that's sensitive in there. And when we're doing these massages, it doesn't have to be hard. It can be soft and gentle and just even moving around the skin over that area. And then coming along the inside of the orbit of the eyes, looking for a divot towards the middle there, and can apply some pressure. Right eye's point. This one will help you wake up if you're taking a break from staring at the monitor. Then the corners of the nose. And then forming a V with the fingers, going across the mouth and getting both corners of the mouth with the V. Other side. Then massaging the ears. Getting all around the ears, getting the lobes of the ears. You can squish them with your fingers or pull on whatever you want to do to get all the ears. And then doing drums of heaven, which is taking the palm of the hand over the ear and just drumming with the fingers along the back of the head. And then we'll do, again, a V with the fingers and go from the chin or cheeks up the sides. Then we will do wash face comb hair. So with this one, we come up the body, middle dantian, over the neck, upper dantian, and the hands are not actually touching the body. They're just a little bit away from the body, and they're not touching themselves. They're a little bit away from themselves. And with the first few of these, we just are clearing stagnant chi. Any chi that we don't need. It's weighing us down. Getting it out of the way. Then after a few of those where we're clearing the way, we come around and we complete the sphere around our head. And then we will do one leg stand. So one leg stand is something that gets practiced throughout the form, and it's one of those little bits of Qigong that you can use throughout the day, every day. So it's a good one to practice, and it's a fun one to practice. And the more you practice it, the goofier you can get with it, and the more fun you can have with it. But the idea, just to start out, is being aware of the transfer of balance between the feet. So letting your weight be entirely in the right foot and side of the body, and feeling the whole of that right foot on the ground, as much of it touching the ground as possible, the toes spread. The ankle joint is loose but supporting the knee joint, which is loose, which is supporting the hip joint, which is loose but supporting lower dantian, and then middle dantian, and then upper dantian on top of that. So you've got this solid stack. And then even without lifting the left leg, this is a one leg stand. This is being fully committed and aware of your weight. And even in this fairly solid pose, there's room to play as far as where your center of balance is, if your weight is more on the ball of the foot or the heel of the foot, one side of the foot or the other. But you can visit those places and still maintain that stack and have confidence in your stability. And then even without lifting, the left foot can slowly transfer weight over to the left foot, noticing when it's 50-50, and then coming 100% to the left side, and again, toes spread on the left foot, feeling the ball of the foot on the floor, the heel on the floor, ankle joint loose but supportive, knee joint loose but supportive, hip loose and supporting the lower dantian on the stomach and the lower internal organs, and middle dantian in the chest, and upper dantian around the head, and all of those things being stacked on top of each other all the way down in support of your body. And again, there's our one leg stand even without lifting the other foot, and you can explore the edges of that one leg stand. Even that static one leg stand has a lot of movement to it. And then shifting back gradually, noting the 50-50 point, feeling the rest of the weight transfer over. And then once you're confident that all the weight is there and you've recognized the stack through the ankle, leg, up through the torso, through the top of the head, then you can lift the left leg up and just play with your ankle. Or you can do heel toe, where you're playing with the heel and the toe touching the floor. And whatever you choose to do with this, the focus is not necessarily on what your light left foot is doing, but it's that you've got your stack and you're maintaining that stack. And if you need something close by to hang on to, or to have confidence in trying to explore the edges of your balance, then definitely grab a wall or a chair or something. And can lift the leg if you're comfortable with it. And then, just like the kicks, bring the foot softly to the ground, quietly, and letting that gentle weight transfer happen 50% and 100%. Left stack is there, right leg gets to play, heel toe, wiggling the ankle, letting those joints be loose, opening up, lift the leg. And then bring the leg down, quietly, softly, gently, finding the floor, coming back to 50-50. And since we're doing one leg stands or have the opportunity to do one leg stands all day, every day as we're walking around, it's an invaluable practice to spend some time on one leg stands. Even if you're not doing any leg lifts or anything like that, just noticing the stack and playing with it and recognizing that even something static has movement in it. And then we'll do some extension through the inside of the legs, so bending the right leg, and you can support yourself with the hand on the right leg, and the feet are parallel to each other and both all the way on the floor, and the left hand follows the extension of the left leg, eyes follow the hand down into the ground, and if you want you can form a cloud with the right hand. And after you feel like you've got enough extension through the left leg, can come back to center and then bend the left leg, supporting yourself, and extend the right hand along with the extension of the right leg, eyes following the right hand down to the floor. Left hand can stay where it's at. Some people like to support themselves with the elbow instead of the hand. Do a claw. And back to center, and then massaging up the insides of the legs. And walking the feet together, and then we'll do some walking kicks. So hands back on the shoe, kidney points, UB23, kicking with the heels first as we walk. And the circle doesn't have to be big. You can pretty much be turning in place and it's still walking in a circle. And again, letting the foot connect gently with the floor. Switching to toe kicks. And Wild Goose Qigong is not martial in any way, but the kicks are actually still a really good thing to practice because they give you an opportunity to get off balance a little bit and experience something that is sudden, and how that affects your balance makes you more prepared for when something sudden happens that you weren't planning for. And then connecting the top of the foot across the Achilles tendon. And then walking meditation. So same awareness of the stack and the weight transfer, letting each step be a one leg stand, and as the arms come out, they're active, and as they come in, they're soft and relaxed. All right, that's the warm-ups. Got through the warm-ups. Just do a single bow to celebrate getting through the warm-ups, and then we'll look at the movements for today. So, gonna start at the end. Gonna learn the close first, which is something that you can do throughout the form. Anytime you're practicing the form and you feel like you want to take a break, or if you're practicing one move over and over again and you want to stop it, then it's good to do the close just to bring yourself back to yourself, because when you're doing the movements, you're really getting out there and everything's centered again. So to do the close, It's a stance with the feet parallel shoulder wide, and you can experiment with what shoulder wide feels like for you, and that will inform your whole form as it progresses. But for now, just having the feet parallel, somewhere under the shoulders. Again, playing with the balance forward, back, side to side, and then to close, all we do is bring the hands from wherever they are in an arc to upper dantian, the forehead, and then down the midline of the body. The hands aren't touching each other or the body, but they're coming down the midline evenly with each other, past middle dantian, space where middle dantian meets lower dantian, and through lower dantian, all the way down until the fingers are pointing down towards the ground. And then the hands come over to the sides, and the legs come together, and that is the close. So the close can be used anytime as you're practicing the form to skip out or to step up the practice and just watch if you want. The computer thinks I'm talking to it. Yeah, so that's the close. That's movement 64. Now we've got to learn 1 through 63. And we'll start with the very first movement. And what I was beginning to describe with the feet parallel and the balance, playing with the balance forward, back, side to side, shoulders relaxed, arms loose with a little bit of space under the armpit. Letting the breath come naturally. Tongue is touching lightly behind the palate. Body weight, top of the head is up to the skies. The feet are extending down to the floor, solid. And that is part of preparation. That is move 0, just getting in the starting stance. And then for the first move, we will bend from the hua, the hip joint, and come down the sides of the legs. The arms are coming down the sides of the legs. The palms are facing down the legs, and then the fingers drag through the ground, and we rise up to shoulder high. That's movement number 1. And then movement number 2 is opening the wings to the sky, and can come up off the heels a little bit, and there's a curve to this. Eyes are up, but the head isn't lolling back. The neck is still supporting the head. And then the third move is closing the wings, so coming down on the heels and letting the hands up, down, to lower dantian. And as they come down, not touching the body, but finding the warmth of lower dantian with the palms. And then we close, relaxing the shoulders before bringing the hands to upper dantian, middle, lower, all the way down. Then close the legs. And I'll do it again from the side so you can have another perspective of what's going on with this. With all of the movements, there's a great minutia of things that are happening, and you can pay attention to any of them, and that's what makes the moving meditation aspect of this so interesting and makes it a lot easier for me than sitting meditation, because the mind has a lot of things to notice and be absorbed in, and that keeps it from thinking about other stuff. So just being completely absorbed in being and the sensations and feedback that your body's giving you. Tongue is touching lightly. The gaze is soft. Not giving more attention to any point in front of you. Letting the peripheral be as focused as directly in front. And then we begin folding, and the hands come back to Huan Tiao. The palms are at Huan Tiao, and then the hands come down the legs, and the fingers drag through the floor. to shoulder high. Move 2, the palms arc slightly open, and we come up off the heels and are holding a big ball, greeting the sky, welcoming the sky, eyes are up to the sky, and then come back down, move 3, closing the wings, coming down on the heels, palms in to lower dantian. And then hands down, we close. And at the end of the form, letting yourself relax for a moment to feel that same balance that you had at the very start of the form. You're right back where you started before closing our legs, and then usually do some walking meditation after the form. So that is the first 3 movements in the close. Some finer points at the very start. When I say that we're having the hands come back to dantian, that's the divot in the hip joint there. So going from there being a little bit of space under the arm and it being relaxed and loose, and we fold from the hua there. As we fold from the hua, the back and neck are straight, it's folding, and the arms are coming back a little bit. So the arms don't really move in that little bend over, they just wind up, focusing the palms, the lao gong, to dantian. And then as we bend over, or fold, it's not really a bend, the palms, the lao gongs, are tracing down the legs, and the fingers are pushing down the legs. And you don't have to go down very far for this movement to connect the fingers to the ground and then have a sense of dragging through the ground as we rise back up, and then at shoulder high. Before opening the hands, recognizing again the stack, we had just been bent over and now we're upright again, we're fully supported, upper dantian all the way down through the feet. And then opening the palms and coming up slightly off the heels. Doesn't have to be much, just letting the heels be open and light. And as we do the opening of the wings, you don't need to bring the arms back. It's tempting to want to make the biggest ball ever, but that's just going to hurt your back and not be any fun. So just letting yourself still be relaxed and open with the arms and round with the arms as they open to the sky. And less is more. So don't need to overdo it. Can let the roundness be there and still be greeting the sky. And then coming down off the heels, and gaze returns to the horizon, and the arms come into lower dantian. And as the arms come in, there's not a prescribed line to get from here to here. It's whatever feels natural to you. And the idea is that with as little effort as possible, with the shoulders relaxed and the arms relaxed, wrists, hands relaxed, it all turns in and comes into lower dantian, and gravity is doing the work, as much work as possible, and you're just doing the least bit of work on your end to fight against gravity and let there be some shape and alignment of the palms into lower dantian through that movement. So you don't have to get over it and in it, or come down and in, but just like finding a natural arc in from open to close of the wings. And then at the end of closed wings, you can check, are your shoulders still relaxed? Or can they relax any further from where they're at? And then can close. Okay, I think that is enough detail for today, or we're not going to have time for the whole form. So now I want to go through the form, and I'll talk through the form as much as possible. If you are new or just starting out, or you haven't done the form before, that's okay. If you want to follow along and play with it and mimic the movements that you do see and like and want to try, go ahead. That's how the form was taught for many, many years before it was formalized into education system. So play with it. Qigong is a Taoist practice. Play is essential. A smile is essential. It's one of the moves. So wear a smile. Let yourself be silly. And just enjoy being. That is the form. And start out. We already know the first three moves, so you know how this is going to go. Relaxing, shoulders. As you find your place, you can play with anything that's tight from the warm-ups, or if you wound up getting tightened up by doing one of the movements that we're learning over and over again, can just loosen anything up that needs to be loosened up so that your whole body feels good and relaxed as we go into the form. A little space under the arms, tongue touching lightly, breath coming naturally, Bai Hui open to the sky, feet fully connected to the ground as fully as possible. And begin. Folding over Bagongs to Wantiao and then down the legs, dragging through the ground, opening the arms to the sky, and coming back in, folding the wings to lower Dantian. And then coming up to chest high, with Dantian, the fingers lead the way out. Turn the arms over, swim back, form claw into the back, and expel. Chest, fingers lead the way out, same as the last movement. Coming back and dragging around the waist, expel. Chest, neck, face, over the top of the head, interlace the fingers, turn the fingers over, push up, eyes up, and then folding over and coming down outside the left foot and coming down outside the right foot, and then coming back to the center and pushing out past each foot, hands turn in, and move back forward and rock back. Left toes up, left claws above the clavicle, right hand macrocosmic orbit. Connect and flap 3 times. Putting the left foot down, right hand past the right foot, comes back, forms claw, lands above the clavicle, left hand macrocosmic orbit, and swoop down. 3 flaps. Back to center. Left hand middle dantian, and then we washing machine and wave hands like clouds. Waist high, connecting, letting the weight transfer. Then on the left side, same thing, hand connects, weight transfers. Right side, head following the hand around. And then we'll spiral around for rinse waist. And restore chi. Right single wing. Drag around the waist. Wrap ear and head. Palms are aligned below collarbone. Then we drag moon from water. The outer moon, turning around, first on the left heel, then on the right heel, stepping forward with the left foot. Left hand comes up the midline of the body, and we look at the moon, fast inner moon. And then getting above the chi, pushing down on the left leg, moving to the right leg. And then at the bottom of the third, push down, we begin to flutter. First time we flutter in the form, fluttering up fluttering to the sides, fluttering back, overlooking the water. And then we'll fly over the water, fluttering, lower dantian, up to the left, lower dantian, up to the right, lower dantian, up to the left, lower dantian, and then we'll drink water. Left foot comes forward, fluttering to mouth, da bao, huantiao, down the legs, down the single leg, back to the mouth. 2. And then the third sip of water. And then feet parallel, fluttering in an arc to land at lower dantian. And shake and relax, relaxing for as long as you shook. Shake and relax. Shake, relax, shake, relax. After the third one, we'll grasp chi, hand coming below the collarbone, fingers reaching out, loose fist, bringing it back in. There's 10 total of these. 4, 9, 10, and then grasping chi, palms up. Again, fist coming in below the collarbone. 7, 9, and 10. And then the fingers open up and the hands spiral past the face all the way up. And big ball of chi, bring it over to the left side, right hand on top of the left hand, and we'll massage the ball of chi from the left over to the right, massaging in towards lower dantian. And turning the ball over and massaging the other direction, looking at the ball that we're massaging. 8, and then 2 times back to the center, coming up right, holding at lower dantian, absorbing, and then another big ball of chi down to the sides of the feet for standing meditation. Legs slightly bent, palms facing upper dantian. Okay, rising up, hands to upper dantian, past the face, neck, chest, pausing at lower dantian. Okay, moving on, palms coming to huantiao, gugu to huantiao, arms come back up to shoulder high, and expel. Forming claw to the back, loosen the claw and shake, and adjust if you need to for 7 steps, and then shake again, being still, shake, still, and then we'll do the 7 steps. First, we're gliding up. Number 6. And number 7. The right hand comes out to where the left hand is at, and they begin fluttering. Pivot left heel, pivot right heel, we're turned around, fluttering up, fluttering to the sides, fluttering forward, taking a step, and then we'll fly down and up to the left. Down, up to the right. And number 7. At the top of number 7, flutter back down to lower dantian, pivot left heel, pivot right heel, turned around, and fluttering up, taking a step, and we will search for food. Number 7, palms come up to lower dantian, pivoting left heel, pivoting right heel, and we'll build a nest. First to the left, and forward, looking right, staying on the right, looking forward, looking left, and looking forward. Then pivoting on the left heel, so we're facing the direction where we started. Bring the right foot in and flutter up. And flutter past the face, past the neck. Fluttering into middle dantian and letting the fluttering subside. Fingers come together and land on lower dantian, and we sleep. Back down on the heels, coming up, and close. Fingers all the way down to the sides, finding beginning. Bring the feet together, and walk the meditation. All right, that's it. That's the full form. So we'll do 3 bows. First bow, acknowledging each other for making space to practice with each other. And then another bow, thanking our teachers and the lineage holders and the form itself as a teacher. And then one last bow, thinking of the world, the soil and the sky, everything in between it, and anybody that needs a little extra chi. All right, that's it. If you had any questions about today's movements or about Qigong, or if you are interested in Qigong because you have something that you're working on, you can get in touch, either chatting in the box or email me, or wherever you heard about it, can reach out to me. And always interested in answering questions because I always learn something along the way. So yeah, don't be shy about reaching out, and hope you find some ways to integrate Qigong into your everyday life and get a little joy out of it. And with that, I'll sign off and either see you tomorrow morning, on Saturday in your life, or next week. Bye.